Yeah, that's entirely possible. That is entirely possible. That's why we always tell people just either remove it or clarify. Hey, the term is this, but we'll get you paid off in like whatever the balloon range is.
Okay.
That's what
Okay.
I would do.
Okay. It's late now.
That's all right. It happens.
Yeah.
That's what these trainings are for.
Okay. That's the
So
I'm gonna
now when you
go
start
ahead and
sending out offers tomorrow, you don't
yeah,
have to worry about that.
I couldn't sleep last night for whatever reason. I didn't do anything today, but I'm gonna get back at it Friday, and I got Friday and Saturday, so I'm gonna get back at it. I did 20 my first time Wednesday.
Nice. Good for
Yeah,
you.
I'm gonna
Good for
slowly,
you.
slowly knocking them down, bro.
Hey, slow and steady wins the race. That's been proven time and time again.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Well, let me know if you need help with anything else. I'll be here.
Oh man, I got the tracking down and everything. How to put the text wrap it in there. I'm just beside myself. I said, man.
Rocking and rolling. Good. I'm glad to hear it. Keep it
And
up,
then I
man.
had to make adjustment of putting the instead of shrinking the page and going to get the tracking. I taught myself how to put everything in the tab of 4, 5 tabs. That's all I need. So I want to be shrinking the page and all that stuff.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. So it's just a learning thing and it's great.
I love it. I absolutely love to hear it. Well,
Hey,
cool, man. Let me know if you need anything else. I'm here.
okay, buddy. How was your
Well,
day?
fantastic as always. I'm always good, dude. It takes a lot to rattle me.
Yeah, as we talked before. Well, once you get there, get on out the way.
Exactly. Yeah, what people don't understand, like you don't have to if you can't you only have a couple options. Either keep up with me or beat me, but do not get in my way.
Right, right. How's the contest going, you and Chris?
It's going pretty good. We had quite a few people drop out. Some people couldn't hang being
Right,
on the team, and that's okay. I only want to work with the top of the top. So it's
right.
going real good. Obviously, I'm winning. I'm ahead of Chris by one. Nobody's surprised about that. And I believe we're going until I think the end of this month.
Hmm.
We'll
You
be
say
announcing winners.
you say you started out with 12, but then you wind up with 6. You still got the same 6.
No, no, no. I'm down to four.
What's the reason they dropped out? They couldn't do the output or what? Whatever reason.
It's I guess it's a lot of people they have their appetite's just too big,
Hmm.
and they think that oh I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, and I tell people a lot. Wholesaling is very very simple. It's just not easy.
Yeah, it's
I
not
think
easy.
a lot of people think it's easy because it's simple. That's social media talking.
Hmm.
Wholesaling is simple to do, but it's not easy.
No, it's not, man. It's a lot that you got to entail. And like Wednesday, I started around about maybe 9. I think no 7. I think it was 9 in the morning. I still wasn't finished around about 2:30, and that was about 4, 5 hours. Then I went back at it again in the afternoon, and I did it up to midnight. So it was about 8, 9 hours I was at it.
Yeah,
But
it's
it
I mean
didn't, it didn't bother me. It's just it was real.
no, I get it. I get it. And that's why you're still doing it. And that's why the people who attempted to start the challenge and obviously I don't hold anything against them. You don't know if you can do it until you try.
Yeah.
People tried and they couldn't do it. No harm, no foul. You can try again next time and hopefully they got some valuable information on, being able to close their own deals. But with me, it's if you can't keep up, don't step up. Can't just
Don't get
can't
on
do
the
it.
stage.
Yeah, yeah, can't do it. All right. Now let's see who's got stuff that they need help on. Oh, what's up, dude? What can I do for you?
Hey, it's Guy.
Oh,
Can
what's
you hear
up,
me
guy?
okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool. Okay, cool.
What do
Um,
you need, dude?
so hey, well, thank you so much for everything. I just have these questions here. I got these two realtors that are talking to me, and again, it just comes down to the timing of it, and then the amount. So if I put into Chat GPT this offer that I sent a lady. It was like $900, and I think it's the one I sent you, $900,000, and she wants to have it be 10% down payment, which is fine, right?
Okay.
That one actually worked, but I'm not sure how to calculate. I went to ChatGPT to calculate it for me, and then I'm not sure how, like, because it said it's like 15-year balloon, but if to shorten it, it's like, okay, like 700,000 is due in 5 or 7 years, right? Like, is that reasonable for the buyers?
No. No, you
Crap.
said the purchase price is 900,000.
Right around there, yeah, 979.
Yeah. So, um, here's the thing. So, two things. One, I just put the calculator playlist, the how-to. It's in the in-call chat right now. So, if you want to watch that, yeah, this in-call chat here.
Oh, okay.
So that'll help you use the calculator, because that's essentially what we're doing. Is we're going to use the calculator to calculate if the deal works. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, if you haven't seen it yet, you should watch the SOP video that I put out on my channel. It'll tell you the breakdown of what each creative term needs to be, like minimum and maximum. Now, for the balloon aspect, you have to look at the quick question guide, which is in Discord. It's right here. And if you see, here are your balloon ranges for purchase price. So 500,000 plus, you need a minimum of a 15 to 20 year balloon. I mean, you're pushing close to $1 million. So a 2-year balloon, absolutely not. And here's why, just so everybody's on the same page. When you take a look at, actually, fuck it, let's put the deal in. What's the purchase price? You sent it to me, didn't you?
At 979, yeah.
Okay, so 979, and you have the seller financed amount at how much?
Seller finance amount is, this is to, what's your name? I'm just gonna find the email here. Seller finance amount is,
Let me guess, you have it at 800. Yeah, you have it at 800.
yeah, right about $800,000.
You have her down payment at what? You maxed it out, 97.
Well, so I'm gonna check GPT. So I changed it to 97 for let me copy and paste what chat GPT gave me.
Oh, I don't need you to copy and paste it. I
Okay. So
it.
yeah. So 97,000 is the down payment I changed it to, right? And then they told me that the seller finance amount will be 881,100, right? And then the monthly payments they said would be $3,715 for 30-year amortization at 3%.
Hold on one second. What is the place rent for? What's the rent?
It's going for 880, $880
$880?
or 880,000. Wait.
No, the rent. What are the place rent for?
Oh,
did you put it into Deal Sniper?
Oh, I did put in the Deal Sniper. I guess that's what I'm confused about too. Is like I've only used one side of it because I don't see a way to get what do you call that? To get I just lost the login. You have to go back into login from WAP. Oh my gosh. I keep losing WAP. I haven't been able to do an offer other than the Clear Finance one because I see the Section 8 one and I see the other one, but like I don't know how to make a sentence.
Hold on one second, because we're getting a little lost here. So I'm going to grab this. I just want you to follow along. I don't want your address, obviously, because this video is going to go on YouTube. So I don't want the address. I don't want anybody to snake your deal. So I'm just going to show you where to look. So you can give me the numbers that I need so I can help you out.
Man, you should just ask for his address.
What's up?
I said you should just ask for his address.
I don't even know what it is.
All right. So you've got this pulled up on Deal Sniper, right? But your address.
Yeah. So, wait, hold on.
Okay,
Let
so
me.
right.
Now I can type this in. Hold on. Let me type this in. I got locked out of Dual Sniper. Get logged. I was already in it. Dang it. I don't
Okay.
know why it does that.
What's the address
Oh,
to your property? I just want
let me
to start
send
for
it to you on chat.
Okay.
It's zoned really well where there can be additional stories.
Mm-hmm.
And she wanted to know, she was like, well, what's the buyer gonna do with it? Like, she wanted me to know what the plan was with the building before she signed
That's
anything too.
none of her.
That's none of her
business.
fucking business.
I'm glad you said it, Chris, because I'm trying to not cuss on these as much because YouTube doesn't like it. But yeah, that's none of her fucking. Like, if I buy a car and I want to paint it, it's my car. I'm gonna paint it with. I'm gonna paint
That's
it
what
with
I'm
polka dots and
thinking, right?
buttholes
Like,
on it.
if I
Like,
want to paint it, okay, whatever.
Okay,
like,
so
it's a
so
stupid question.
so when I get that question, you know what my question to that question is? How serious are you actually about selling this house? Because if you care what happens to it after you sell it, then maybe you're not super serious about selling
Yeah,
it.
maybe we should keep the fucking thing. Okay, estimated rent is 4,100,
I don't know why I don't have the WAP anymore.
and then the seller finance. Let's do taxes and insurance. 10,005. Damn, what city is this in? Oh,
You see
okay,
it?
so 10,500 and 3,700. So 10,500,
Like, I want to
3,700.
send her something that's workable, or it shortens the balloon and it's 10%. What you call it? You know,
Uh-huh.
she's interested.
Okay, this deal doesn't even work.
It doesn't.
Oh, hold on. 979. Yeah. Down payment. It's a little higher, but okay. Yeah, this deal doesn't work at all. Oh,
Okay.
this deal is negative. Okay, so when you're using this, when you're using Deal Sniper, all right, at least now I can post it because nobody's gonna go after this deal. You want to look at the cash flow and you want to look at your cash on cash return. Now, Deal Sniper calculates things a little bit different than realistic because of this part here. All of these numbers here are affecting the number here and here. So the rule of thumb is, because this is for buyers, this is for if you were going to take down the property yourself, you're going to go get a mortgage, yada yada yada. We're not doing that. So the rule of thumb is, if your cash flow is positive and your cash on cash return is positive 5% or more, it's a good deal. If it's not, yeah, you shouldn't, and this goes for Section 8 or long term. If you notice, neither of these work, which is why when I punched it into the calculator, as you can see, just punching it in the way Deal Sniper gave it to me, the cash on cash return is 5.18%. Our minimum, bare minimum, is 10 to 12%.
Okay, so the 5% was where?
The cash on cash return right here.
Okay, you said if it's below 5%, it's not a good deal, right?
Well, I'm talking about Deal Sniper. So if Deal Sniper on either Section 8 or long-term rental is showing your cash on cash return at 5% or higher, then you can send the offer. That's fine. Because once you put it into the calculator, it'll probably come out to around the 10 to 13% range. Probably better most of the time. But it'll give you a good range. But if you're in Deal Sniper and you put in the address, before you clean up your numbers or anything, click on Section 8, click on long-term rental, and see if the numbers are red. If they're red, don't put an offer in on it because it's not going to cash flow. If it doesn't cash flow, you have to.
And then how would I send it? How would I send it out when it's not the creative finance one?
What do you mean?
Because you know how, like, okay, I don't see an option to generate an offer for anything other than creative finance.
Yeah, because you don't, not for on market.
Oh,
Let me tell you exactly why. So we'll take this one. This one's listed for 890,000, right?
yeah.
Let me check something really quick. This will just take a second. Now, I'm not going to dive into this thing like I normally would if this were a real one, because I'm just trying to prove a point. And I'm just going to get myself a quick value. That's nice on the inside, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that floor. I like this floor, but I don't like that
Was
floor.
it a good
Anyway.
thing or no?
I'm a picky bitch, so I just like looking at people's houses.
You're funny.
Been on market for 118 days. Yeah, no shit. Okay, so if I was gonna run 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,740 square feet, I just want to get a ballpark ARV, just real quick.
So now are you thinking a cash offer?
No, I'm showing you why cash doesn't work for on market.
Oh. Okay.
A lot of people ask me that all the time. Oh, I'm gonna do cash. I'm gonna do cash. Cash does not work on market. I'm gonna show you why. So 3-bedroom, 2.5, 1,850. So this one's bigger, but it's half a bathroom smaller, and it's flipped. So I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna say this is my ARV. My ARV is $1 million. So if I go back to this calculator and I hit the MAO tab, this is for off market. This is for on market. So I'm gonna show you the difference. If our ARV is $1 million, right? I'm going to use simple numbers. I know it's 1,030,000. I don't know if I give a shit about that. Oops. And then this one obviously doesn't need any rehab. It's been flipped. And then you want to make at least 10 grand on the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here's what you can offer. If the properties were, if it's off market and the ARV is $1 million, you can offer about $690,000. That's 70% of ARV minus rehab minus your assignment. Now let's take that exact same property. It's listed. It's listed for how much? 890. Okay, it's listed for 890. When you're dealing with on market, you can't use the ARV because it's on market. The reason why you can't use the ARV is because every single local investor that you would try and sell this deal to, they've already seen it. They already seen it. They ran the numbers. They ran the ARV, and they deemed it for 118 days. This property is too expensive. So if in order for us to sell it to them cash, we have to get it at a deep discount. So let's say the same thing. You want to make $10,000. It doesn't need any rehab, but it's on market. So you have to use the listing price as your calculation starting point, not the ARV. So now look at the difference. Now you call these people right now and say, "Hey, yeah, I'm going to give you. I know you want to sell it for 900,000, but I'm going to give you 524." You think they're going to say yeah?
Probably not. She said it was Airbnb and that they haven't had many people check it out because it was occupied with guests. So I guess it's like it's on market for a while, but kind of it's almost a mirage because they haven't had an opportunity to figure out how much people want it because it's not been available to be seen.
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
Let me add.
That's not true though because they could call, which is just figure that out.
So let's try this. Let's see what this thing will actually do as an Airbnb. I could be wrong. Happens.
Not it's often. A Verbo. I'm an Airbnb, but it's Verbo.
That's all right. It's short-term rentals or short-term rental. So this thing will bring in $43,000 a year. If I take, I'm doing some of my calculators from a long day. $43,000 divided by 12, so I can figure out the monthly. That's $3,583 a month. If I go back to here, we had the LTR at 4,100. The STR is 3,500. So it's still not going to work. That's less money, which is probably why they're selling it, because it's not making them any money as an Airbnb or a Verbo or whatever. So yeah, that's why you can't do cash on Deal Sniper, because if it's on market, you shouldn't be offering cash. It basically boils down to 50% of what they're listing the property for. And it's very, very rare that you're going to get someone to do that, even for a property that's been listed for 118 days.
Yeah.
So if it were me, I would say, hey, you know what? We're not going to be able to make this work. This doesn't really have the cash flow that my investors are looking for. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day. Kind of deal.
Okay. I'll tell her that. Yeah. Appreciate that.
No problem. But do you understand how I got there? Because that's the most important part.
Well, if you could, I mean, I'm gonna look this video over again. If you can post this somewhere, and then if you can also post like the links to this calculator, because I've been trying to actually ChatGPT to tell me what things are. Because I got the other guy who wants
Aren't you in
to.
the Deal Sniper Discord?
Well, not right now because
Yes, you are. I'm
my
looking at it.
link, freaking
No, no, no,
died off
no,
on
no,
me.
no. The Discord. You're in the Discord, right? For Deal
Oh, the
Sniper.
group. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
chat.
calculator's right there. It's hold on. I'm gonna put it in the main chat for you.
Okay. And it's a hard line for 10% down payment because I had somebody today ask for 20 and then somebody else asked for 25.
Yeah, hardline is 10 within reason, but it
Okay.
really should be no more than 10%.
Based on when can it fudge a little bit?
All right. Well, first of all, I'm gonna give you haven't been on my YouTube channel, have you?
No, I have not.
Okay, you really need to
Probably
go to
why
that
I'm
channel
asking.
because there's a lot of SOPs and stuff there that you know will benefit from. First of all, stay away from these high ass properties, like these really expensive ones. Your
Okay.
sweet spot should be like 300,000 purchase price or less.
Okay, that's what I was starting to think.
A lot of people think, especially you're new to wholesaling, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people when they're new to wholesaling, they think, oh, if I go after $1 million property, I can charge more money. No, it's significantly harder to close a $1 million property over $100,000 property, and there's no guarantee that you're going to make more. Quite the opposite.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing: everyone and their mom for an online property is going to ask for a balloon. They're going to do it no matter what. And I'll tell you what, they're going to want a really short balloon because people don't want to wait for their money. That makes sense. I understand that. So you want to make sure you're following this guide for your balloon ranges. And if you know that they're going to ask for a balloon anyway, then you might as well go for a property where you can already offer them a low balloon. This is again why you should stick to the 300,000 or less because you can already give them a lower balloon.
Okay. The goal is to give them a little balloon. Okay.
I mean, not the longer the balloon, the better for the investor, for how attractive your deal is. But for the purposes of getting under contract and still having the ability to move it to an investor, just stick to these. Give them this range, and the higher end of the range is always going to be better. But as long as you're within this range for these accompanying purchase prices, you should be good. Now, as far as when you can fudge the numbers, exigent circumstances, just like with the police. So, for example, again, now I don't want to just ignore the numbers, right? Because this deal doesn't work. But let's say, what's your entry fee percentage on this one? Yeah, you're only at 12. All right, let's kick it up a little bit. Let's say we want to do, fuck it, we'll do 100. We'll do 100 here. This will be 879. And then let's throw a $10,000 commission in there for the real estate agent. That's only 1%.
How much is the calculator?
How much? There's no, I don't charge for this shit. It's just
Deal machine calculator? Oh, no, it's not. Okay.
yeah.
I
You
thought
click
deal
on
machine was payment. Okay, never mind.
no deal machine. I've heard people use deal machine, and in the context they use it, I'm like, that doesn't sound like my calculator. I think there's something else somewhere
It's a
else.
CRM.
Yeah, this is just a calculator. And once you're in the Discord, you don't pay for anything. This isn't that kind of community. The only thing that you do need to do, don't request access because everyone does that. When you open it up, go to file, go to make a copy, name it whatever you want, and then you'll be able to use the calculator.
I'll do that.
All right, so if I go to this deal, it's still not high enough. It doesn't matter. You see how your entry fee percentage is 14%? But your cash on cash return sucks. When would someone take this deal? The cash on cash return would have to be a lot better. There has to be a reason for them to buy it. And it's usually going to be a combination of the cash on cash return and the cash flow. Now, our minimum is 10 to 12%, but that's ugly. So if you want to know what the property's flipped, so fair enough. So if you want to know what someone would do, they would need like probably 800. No, 100. Yeah, there you go. So if the deal looked like this, an investor would take it, even though your entry fee percentage is a little bit higher. Because this we want to keep as close to 10% as possible. But because it's bringing in $18,000 a year and it doesn't need any work, that's the exigent circumstances I was talking about, where an investor would be like, this is high, but I don't have to put any money into it when I buy it, and it's going to be making me close to $20,000 my first year. I'll take it. That's how that goes. But you don't have that. You have this. And this is not enough to justify that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It will. Yeah. It's hard for me to
Okay.
see because my it's blurry, so I have to like watch it later. I don't know why it's
Is that better?
blurry. It's better, yeah.
So the way that your deal is situated, I mean, granted, yeah, I went up $2,300. That doesn't matter. But your cash on cash return is too low. And the reason it's important, all that means for anyone who doesn't know is that how fast am I going to get my money back and how much? That's what that means. And for people with money that do a lot of investing, a bank T-bill that every person on this call can go to their bank and go get is paying out like 7.5% cash on cash return every year. So an investor can either take $140,000 and stick it into the bank and get 7.5% and not have to worry about vacancy, repairs, capex, tenants, none of that bullshit. But if we're going to make them deal with that bullshit, we have to make this worth it. And right now, the way the deal stands, it's not worth it. They can put their money in the bank and make damn near double and not have to worry about nothing. That's why we have these parameters for our creative deals. Because we want to make sure, it doesn't mean shit if you can lock a deal up. Doesn't mean anything. My dog can lock a deal up. She's cute. But can you sell that deal to an investor? Is it good enough for someone to want to pay you for it? That's the hard part.
Yeah.
That's where we have to walk that line. And this one, unfortunately, doesn't hit.
And I had a lady on the phone. She said, "What's the interest rate?" And in my mind, I was thinking of the section in the Discord where it says 0% or Y. It's 0%, right?
Yep.
So I told her it was 0% because I remembered that. Was that correct?
Well, that depends. So technically, that answer is correct. But did you just say the answer is 0%?
Basically.
Yeah. So that's the wrong way. There's a right way and a wrong way to deliver information. So much so that doctors have an entire semester of classes that they have to take just to explain to someone they have a terminal illness, because there's a right way and a wrong way to deliver it. So the way that I put in the cheat sheet, which I recommend that everybody memorizes,
She was pissed.
is like, hey, you know what? That's a great question. Here's the thing. This deal is at 0%, not because we're trying to short your seller, quite the opposite. That's why we gave you an over asking price. We already calculated what our investor will pay for interest. And then we just took that dollar amount over the life of the loan and we added it to the purchase price. So your seller's still going to get their money. They're just going to get it over time. And the reason why we do that is because we need to have our investors be able to cash flow. Our investors are looking to have cash flowing properties added to their portfolio. If it doesn't cash flow, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, then they have no reason to buy it. And I'm not here to waste your time. So technically, monthly, it's at 0%. But your clients are still getting that money. They're just getting it on the purchase price instead of monthly. Does that make sense? That's how I answer that question. So there's a difference between that and, oh, it's 0%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you just look like you're trying to rip somebody off.
Another way that you could put it is, I just had this conversation with an agent literally 30 minutes ago. The agent was like, could you think your investor could do 50% down? And I said, let me ask you something. Her name was Darcy. And I said, let me ask you something, Darcy. 50% of your listing at a $270,000 listing is $135,000. I said, Darcy, would you trade $135,000 for a couple $100 a month in cash flow? Would you do that? She was like, well, probably not. I said, but that's what you're asking my investor to do. I said, so when you look at it that way now, do do you still want, I said, you know, when you put yourself in my investor's shoes, does that make sense for an investor? And she was like, not really. I said, no.
Beautiful.
Because that's essentially what you're doing is you're asking investors to trade 130,000, 135,000, whatever, fucking $500,000 for a couple $100 a month in cash flow. Who's going to do that? And when you explain that to the seller or the agent, generally they understand that. I actually, believe it or not, I have yet to have somebody disagree with me when I explain it to them that way, because
That's a good way to say
that's one of those common sense logical examples that nobody can really argue with. And if they say, yeah, I would, then my response would be, okay, whatever shit you're on right now, I need some of that, because that must be some good stuff.
Gotcha. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You know what I don't, man, shut up. You know what I don't get though, Sean? There's a guy who posts deals on Facebook all the time. I'm going to read you this deal, Sean. Tell me if this makes sense to you.
Okay.
Okay. Seller financing at 3.5% in Butler, Pennsylvania. Great. No HOA.
3.5% down payment or
3.5% interest.
Okay.
So deal type, seller finance. Purchase price, $500,000. Seller carryback, $450,000. So total entry, $555,000 plus TC and closing costs. Cool.
Okay.
Monthly payment, $2,021. Estimated rent, $1,610. Zillow is at $1,767. Section 8 is at $1,610. Interest rate at 3.5%. Balloon 5 years. Okay. So not only does this house not cash flow, it's negative. He's got a balloon payment of 5 years on a house that, or on a 5 years on a $450,000 loan, essentially, or, you know, seller carry the note on this house. Now, what doesn't make sense to me, okay?
None of it.
Well, none of that deal makes sense to me. But what also doesn't make sense to me is this dude is part of Pace's real estate page.
Okay.
This guy, if I go to his profile, I'm going to go to it right now. Hold on. If I go here, I can see all of his posts. Okay. And I'm looking down at his posts and I'm seeing deal after deal after deal that doesn't make sense to me. And yet he is marking them all as sold. So either he's a fucking liar or he's doing something that we're not doing.
Well, let me ask you this. Is he marking them as sold or is he posting his HUDs?
He's marking them as sold.
Yeah, it doesn't mean shit to me.
Right. But this guy.
Hey, guys, I just closed $1 million deal yesterday. I'm not going to prove it, but I did it. Trust me.
Right.
Like, come on. Get the fuck out of here. It's the internet.
I get that, but this guy posts all the time. So
I get
is this guy like, and he's posting these deals. If I look, I'm looking right now and I'm still scrolling. Like I'm probably scrolled past 60 deals already. Okay. I mean, I'm just swiping, right? My screen is just flying and I'm still seeing deals. Most of them are marked as sold. Some of them are not, but most of them are. And when I stop, like, for example, let me just stop and look at this deal. Okay. Sub2 deal in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So he obviously seems like he's targeting, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Sub2 deal in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Down payment, $28,000 on a Sub2. Down payment, $28,000 plus TC and closing costs.
Right.
PITI is $1,587.
Okay.
Estimated rent is $1,547.
Yep, that doesn't make any sense either.
It doesn't make sense. It's he's putting down $28,000 plus TC and closing costs on a note that is only $240,000. So he's paying well over 10% on a Sub2. A Sub2s, Sub2s you need like super, super low down payment. I mean, most Sub2s you want to try to ideally get them with zero down.
True. So here's what he could be doing. And I'm not saying he is. I don't know who the fuck this person is. I do know that I don't believe a damn thing I see on the internet. I saw a dog eat a lady's face and it turned into salad because VEO3 had a cool prompt. So I don't believe shit I see on the internet. But one thing that he could be doing, if it is legit, is he could be marketing it to homestead buyers. There are some investors, especially coming out of Pace's group, that will focus on building a homestead buyer type hub for community. Shit, I mean, I've got the makings of one. I don't. They're just a waste of time to me. Where they don't care about cash flow, they don't care about any of that because they're just trying to live in it. So he could be doing that. Unless he's got a website where you can go to and be like, hey, if you're looking to buy a house and you can't go to a bank, join my mailing list and I'll send you deals where the financing is already in place. You can do that and be very successful because there are a lot of people who can't qualify to buy a house, but they have, $40,000, $50,000 to put down. So that's possible, and it could be what's going on for some of those, or even all of them. All I know is that there's no fucking investor buying those deals. Not at all.
That was what I thought too, but then why is he posting it on the investor page?
Without posting the HUDs, clout.
Okay.
I mean, shit, look at Discord right now. One of the guys that I've been helping for a hot minute, he just posted his HUD. He's about to close the deal like in 2 days. It's on the main chat. HUD. Like that's what you do when you get deals closed, you post your HUD.
Right.
That's boom right there. Proofs in the pudding. I did it. Yay.
I just
If
didn't
you're not
understand.
posting that, I don't really believe you.
Yeah, because I saw the deal. I was just, doom scrolling and I was like, what the fuck? Like I just paused to look at it because, who wouldn't? And
Right.
the first thing I saw was how the PITI at 3% or 3.5% is way higher than the estimated rent. So I'm like, this doesn't make sense to me. And then I started digging into his profile and I'm like, deal after deal after deal doesn't make fucking sense to me.
Yeah, I mean,
At
if I
least
saw I'd have to see the HUDs. Or, I mean, you know what? I know not everyone is like me, but hit him up and say, hey, man, I'm in wholesaling. I'm going to stay out of Pittsburgh. Don't worry. But I've been doing creative financing for a while, and your terms don't look investor friendly. How are you moving these deals? And just ask.
Right.
See what he says.
I mean, fuck it.
He's either going to say nothing. He's going to say, buy my course, or he's going to say, I'm selling it to homestead buyers. But at least you'll get your answer.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I just didn't know how he was doing it. The only other thing that I could think of though, which still doesn't make sense if you really think about it, is he's marketing it as a Morby method. Because are you familiar with the Morby method?
Yeah, of course I am. That's
So
the DSCR. He's using a DSCR loan, which is
Yeah.
why the down payment doesn't matter as much. If he were selling it to an investor, if he was selling it to a homestead buyer, a DSCR loan wouldn't matter because they couldn't qualify for it.
the thing with the Morby method though too is a lot of times you're going DSCR. Essentially, it's a hybrid. You're just using a DSCR instead of your own personal money down payment.
Right.
And I look at a lot of these deals and I'm like, okay, I can look up what a DSCR loan interest rate is on 50% of a purchase price. Is that even doable? And you're still talking like $300 a month cash flow, giving the seller like 250. Like even those deals, I'm like, I get it, but these margins, man, like they're tight on so many deals. I mean, you know that obviously. I know that. It's just
we got that one whale buyer that'll do all those states for $100 in cash flow. I just don't want to send him any bullshit. That's why I put the $300 rule. But he'll buy them at 100.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that first one that you named off was negative, so you wouldn't buy that.
Right. That one that you're talking, the buyer you're talking about is the one that you emailed me, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The how much do you love me one? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But he'll buy him at $100 cash flow a month.
Did you? Right. Did you get an answer on that thing that I sent you yesterday?
No, he has not answered me yet.
Okay.
I will hit him up as soon as the training's done.
All right, that's cool. I'll bounce then just so that I don't take up all your time.
That's all good. I love talking to my competition. Just keeping you in my crosshairs.
Sounds good.
All right, dude. I'll see you later.
All right.
Hey,
David.
Sean.
What's up, dude?
Hey, can I send you one more thing on chat? You can just tell me yes or no if it works or not.
Yes, you can, but I got to get to Kathy and Emmanuel. They've been
No, yeah, for
very
sure.
patiently waiting. So just give me a couple minutes.
No, yeah. Take your time. Yeah.
But yeah, send it. Kathy,
Okay.
what can I do for you?
Hi, Sean. You sort of answer a lot of my answers to my questions.
Sure.
But there's one thing I just wanted to ask you. I saw actually the seller, they're interested in seller financing, but the
Nice.
interest rate is at 4.99%. I ran it through the calculator. I guess.
Oh, Kathy, you cut out. If you're talking, I can't hear you.
Are you hearing me more clearly?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay, wonderful. But you just answered my question. But I just wanted to clarify just a bit when you mentioned to the gentleman just now that once you see the short term and the Section 8 is in red is non-effect. Don't go through with it. Basically, that's what he's saying, right?
Correct. And that's on Deal Sniper.
Yes, because the person, the seller actually wants seller financing. And the interest rate is 4.99% because I ran it through the calculator and everything.
Mhm.
But so that's what I was just concerned about. So I think I better not proceed with it since you already said once you see that in red to exclude it.
Yeah, I mean it's just, and it's not anyone's fault. Even if they weren't asking for 5%, because I don't believe Deal Sniper even allows you to change the interest rate. At least it shouldn't. But if it's even at 0%, it's not working. It's not that it's anyone's fault. It's just what the property will rent for versus how much the seller wants is two totally different things. Now, what you could do is, I mean, you'll be backpedaling a little bit. It's not going to be a good look. But what you could do is let them know, like, hey, this is the most that I can give you per month, which pencils out to this percentage if you're dead set on having an interest rate. But this is the best that I can do. And then use the calculator to kind of reverse engineer that offer. Because once you put your numbers in here, and this goes for everybody, if you have a real estate agent that's asking for an interest rate, or even a seller, put your numbers in on the input page as normal. And then all you have to do is change the interest rate. So in this case, if it was 5, now granted, this purchase price is $1 million, so don't freak out, but it'll change. So then you just take this number, 4718, and instead of putting the Deal Sniper number there, you put that number there. And this will instantly tell you if it's a good deal or not.
Okay.
So I can actually run the deal right now if you're unsure if it'll work or not. But if you're telling me that Deal Sniper, the Section 8, and the LTR were negative for the cash on cash return, then yeah, I wouldn't waste my time on it.
Okay, no problem. Okay,
Unless you feel like you can negotiate them down to a lower monthly payment than what Deal Sniper is suggesting.
Okay, because Deal Sniper suggested 900 monthly.
So then you'd probably have to get them down to what, like maybe 5 to 6.
Okay.
Have you already sent the offer?
No. I was just doing the calculations.
Well, let's take a look at it. What's the purchase price?
375.
All right. What's the seller finance amount?
Sorry?
The seller finance amount.
One moment, you're gonna get cut off, okay? Because I'm
Sure.
on my iPad, so when I'm flipping through it, it's sort of cut off. One moment.
Okay. And then Emmanuel, I will get to you in a second, and then after that, Guy, I'll get back to you. King Ray, weren't you in Discord a few minutes ago? Are you the one that I
Okay.
told to join the live? Or no?
No, that wasn't me.
Okay. Well, I guess whoever that was didn't want to get their question answered. It's no big deal. Just DM me later.
Okay, so the realtor asking price is 375.
Okay.
When I put it into the Deal Sniper, the purchase price came to 412.
Okay.
And then the seller financing was 384.
Okay.
One moment again, please.
Sure.
Are you hearing me, Sean?
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. So the monthly was 900. The long-term monthly rent is 2,100.
Okay. And what are the taxes and the insurance?
One moment. Okay, so the taxes is 5139.21.
Okay.
And the insurance 1575.
Perfect. And you said Deal Sniper said you should give them 900?
Yes, monthly payment.
Okay. So you're actually not that well, your cash on cash return is pretty far off, but your cash flow is great. So let's just go down. And if you want to figure out how to manipulate these two numbers, all you have to do is go up or down on this, and you can find out your minimum and your maximum. So if I just go down $50, just for the example, that's $800. So if you could get them to 800, you'd be better. If you can get them to 750, then you probably got a movable deal. If you can get them to 700, guarantee you can move that. What city is it in? Before I open my mouth, what city?
Orlando.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, you can definitely move that. Is there an HOA?
I didn't check. One moment, please.
Okay. It should say it on Deal Sniper too. For those of you that don't know, because I know this comes up a lot of people get confused when it says total PITI plus HOA, and they think that that's the PITI for the interest for the mortgage that's already in place. That's not what that is. That's adding up this, and I'm sorry, that's adding up this and averaging out these over the year to come up with that. So if the person has a mortgage and they're like, oh, you're like, oh my, I have the PITI, it's 2940. No, it's not. That's this. And this divided by 12 and this divided by 12 is that. And if there's an HOA, that'll be added to it. So if the person has a mortgage, ask the real estate agent, say, oh, you know what? I didn't know that they had a mortgage. My fault. I'll tell you what, if you can give me the approximate mortgage balance, interest rate, and monthly payment, I can send you another offer in like 20 minutes and I'll make sure I cover that mortgage also. And if you want to get super accurate, you can send me a copy of their mortgage statement. Tell them they can black out any of their personal information. I really don't need that. Again, all I need is the mortgage balance, the interest rate, and the monthly payment. And I can send you a new offer that'll cover that. Just shoot it over to me in a text. That's literally exactly what I say. And they literally do it every fucking time.
Okay.
So,
no
confused.
HOAs.
No HOA. All right. No. And the property does it need work?
No.
Really? Okay, then yeah. If you can, now I know I'm saying, oh, no big deal. You'd have to talk them down. Well, not talk them down. You'd have to talk them into a $700 monthly payment. Now, here's the problem. At 5% interest, they're expecting a $2,000 payment. So even at your $900 payment, you've got an uphill battle. You've definitely got an uphill battle. But if you can properly deliver the Y0% in the cheat sheet channel, if you can memorize that and deliver that just like that, that's actually your only shot. You have to get the real estate agent to understand, like, look, I'm not trying to screw your client out of $1,100. My investor needs to be able to cash flow or they're not going to buy it. And then I'm just wasting your time. And I don't want to waste your time. The property's already been on market for 60 plus days. I'm not looking to waste your time or mine. But my investor needs to be able to cash flow. So if you can get around these terms or close to it, I know my investors will buy it. At this point, it'll just be a matter of identifying which one it's going to be.
Okay. Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Don't
Does
have
that,
to.
does that
Sorry.
answer your question?
Yes, it does have to develop expertise like you. So
That's
thank
it-
you. I
that-
appreciate
that
you.
No worries. That just takes practice. The only reason I'm as good as you guys perceive me to be is because I've screwed up more than all of you. I'm old. I've had a lot of time to do it.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
No
Thank you.
problem.
Okay.
Emmanuel, what's up, dude? You're muted if you're talking. Or he's not here. All right. Yeah, there you are. No, you got to unmute yourself, bro. Okay. Trev, give me 1 second. Guy, did you send me that one that you wanted me to look at?
I was trying to get ChatGPT to give me what I wanted to compare, but I it's not giving me what I want. But let me just give you what he said. I'll give you what the initial deal was,
Okay.
and then I'll give you what he said about his interest rate and his mortgage balance. In conjunction to that, I mentioned that we could do it subject to hybrid, which I'm not sure how that works. So I'll give you those numbers, and then maybe I guess something can happen from there.
Okay. What do they have the property listed for?
Property is listed for. Let me double check this. This is. I'm just copying pasting right now into Zillow. I just got the address. It's weird how it always gives a higher number than what it actually costs.
Talking about on Deal Sniper?
Yeah, because I get that number mixed up. Okay, so it's listed for $499.
Okay, so 500,000. What's the mortgage balance?
Mortgage balance is he's paid how much? Oh, he sent me an email. Where did it go? Mortgage balance is $366.89 at 4% interest, and then you said there's a 15,000% or 15,000 portion at 0% interest.
Oh, so he's got a first and a second.
Yeah.
Is that 0% interest? What's the monthly payment for this one at 4%?
Oh, he didn't tell me that.
Oh shit, I need that. That's the only way to
Okay.
factor that. That's the only way to underwrite the deal.
Okay. He's kind of like slow on information. I was like trying to give him give me everything, and he's like kind of just like bare bones with it.
All right, but you know what? I'm gonna finish underwriting the deal though, because I can't, because I can finish underwriting the deal to explain what a hybrid is. Just understand that the cash on cash return and cash flow are not going to be accurate. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'm asking him right now for it. He'll get back to me.
Okay.
And I'll send it to him.
All right. Perfect. So
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
no worries. So we'll take this. We'll just assume this monthly payment is $2,500. That seems about right. And then I put in that we're going to give him a $35,000 down payment to give you some wiggle room. And then that means that the seller finance amount is $94,000. Now, before I go any further, does anyone not understand how I got this number? The seller financed amount. Everybody knows how I got that number. All right. Well, I don't believe none of y'all, so I'm going to explain
I
it anyway.
just sent an email.
Okay. So what you do on a hybrid deal, if you want to figure out what the seller finance amount is, you take the purchase price, you subtract the mortgage balance, you subtract the down payment, and whatever's left is your seller financed amount.
Put the purchase price, subtract the down payment.
You take the purchase price,
Uh-huh.
you subtract the mortgage balance, you subtract the down payment or the cash to seller, And whatever's left over is your seller financed amount. Because
Yeah.
remember, when you're doing these creative deals, this is all their equity. That's the difference between a sub-2, a hybrid, and a seller finance. On a seller finance, they don't owe anybody shit. So it's all equity. It's all their money. All that is profit, right? On a subject-to deal, you're giving them a down payment to walk away. Because if they were to sell it on market, there is no profit because they owe whatever they're going to sell it for to the mortgage company. So we're actually helping them out by giving them probably more money than they would have made if they sold it and they have no equity. Because they have no equity to soak up those closing costs, to soak up any of their profit. It's all gone. A hybrid is a combination of the both. Is when they have a mortgage balance, but they still got a bunch of fucking equity that they want. And they want that equity. So we're going to give it to them just like we do on a seller finance. We're just going to give it to them in addition to paying this for them, or not we, the investor. So this is their equity. Their equity is the $35,000 down payment and the $94,000 seller finance amount. That's how much money they want. That's why I always ask, what are they listing it for? That's how I can always tell if it's a hybrid or a sub-2. If their listing price is very close to what they owe on the property, it's a sub-2. If it's way different, if there's a big gap, that means they want their equity. So we got to give it to them. We're just going to give it to them over time instead of up front. That's what a traditional deal looks like. Does anyone not understand what I just said or went through?
It takes repetition for me, so I'll get it. But and you'll post this online somewhere?
This will be up on YouTube tomorrow.
Cool. Love it.
Okay, cool. So let's go back to the deal. And then we'll say, just for sake of argument, this thing rents for $4,000. We'll leave some room. Okay, so when I go over to this hybrid tab, most of this is going to copy over. And the reason being is because we need to figure out if the deal cash flows. Hybrids are very difficult to cash flow because, like I said, the investor, we're having them pay the mortgage, and then they still got to pay the seller on this equity that they owe them. Now, in this situation, I'm making the deal cash flow because I'm controlling what the rent is. But look at what happens. So right now, we have the investor making about $11,000 a year on this property. But notice, we're not paying the seller anything. We're not paying that down. We got to pay that down. We're already not giving them any interest. So what if I put $100 in there? All right, so we lost some money, but we're still good. We're close, but we're still good. Let's go to 200. That's gonna be about it. That's gonna be about it. Let me see. Let me see if I can creep this shit up. 225. All right, I can go. Let's go 3. Yeah, I mean, it technically still works, but no investor is excited about that. They're excited at the 13 to 15% range. They're excited. 15 to 17%, they're calling you multiple times a day like, hey, let me get this deal. 18 to 20%, you have a bidding war going on for your deal. That's how it works, assuming that the rest of the SOPs are in range. So if you notice, let me see 250. Yeah, 235. 235 is the max. So that means if you go over here, and a lot of times, you guys, little tip, when an investor, and I'm sorry, not an investor, when a real estate agent or a seller, especially a real estate agent, because sellers, sometimes depending on their background, they may not 100% grasp this. Not that they're stupid, this is just not their wheelhouse. But an investor, or I'm sorry, but a real estate agent, they understand all this shit. So when a real estate agent asks me for a ridiculous interest rate, or here, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So this is it. Let me explain this first. So it's going to bring in $48,000 a year in rent, vacancy, repairs and maintenance, CapEx, basically your war chest, is going to run you about $7,200. That brings your NOI to $40,800. NOI stands for net operating income. But remember, they still have to pay the mortgage, and they still have to pay the seller. So of this $40,800, 30 grand is going to the mortgage this year. And then of that, another $2,800 is going to the seller. So that means out of this 40, the only thing the investor gets to keep is about $8,000 or a 13% cash on per year. Yeah, all of this is yearly numbers.
Interesting.
And this is not even including property manager, which can be an additional 9 to 10%.
Mm-hmm.
So what if I change this to 15 just because I don't want to make a new box? That's a dead deal. That deal doesn't work. Even if, let's see if I take this out, I don't think it's going to work. Yeah. Even if I take this out, you're barely at being able to push this deal. Your entry fee percentage better be low and the house better be in really good shape. So that makes a difference. So you guys, this is how these numbers work. So let me show you what I was talking about. Let's say an investor or a real estate agent. I don't know why the fuck I keep saying investor. Probably, yeah, we're sending that email out to the investor right now, idiot. So let's say the real estate agent asks for a 5% interest rate. That would make this payment $2,061. So now I'm going to go here and I'm going to put in 2,000. That's not right. Hybrid. I'm going to put in 2,000. Hold on. Something I did wrong. Yeah, I put it over here. So hybrid, let's say, again, they want 5%. That's $504. Let's go to hybrid. And let's put in 504. Now remember, this deal worked before. Now it's dead. So a lot of times what I'll do is once I put in the real estate agent's ridiculous, it's not ridiculous. That the real estate, I don't want you guys to go to war with real estate agents. Are there real estate agents that are dicks? Yeah, some of them are, but every profession has a dick. Cops, doctors, nurses, teachers, real estate agents, wholesalers, everyone's got an asshole pocket in their profession. The real estate agent's job is to be fiduciarily responsible for their real estate transaction. That's to the seller. They have a fiduciary responsibility to the seller, not to you. That means that they need to get the seller the best deal that they can.
Yeah.
Period. They're not trying to be difficult. They're not trying to stonewall. If it's not the best deal that the real estate agent can get, they're going to turn you down. Now, they may turn you down and be rude. They may turn you down and be professional. But it doesn't change the fact that they're going to turn you down if they don't see it as a benefit. That's why education is so important. That's why this next part is so important. I would put in the terms that the real estate agent asked for, and then I would send a screenshot of just this box. And I'd say, Mr. and Mrs. Real Estate Agent, I completely respect where your sellers are coming from, and if I could give them that, I absolutely would. It doesn't mean anything to me because my investors are the ones that are buying the deal. Here's the problem. My investors need to be at a certain threshold for them to even proceed forward, for them to even look at the deal. They have to be within a certain threshold, within certain margins. And as you can see from this photo, the screenshot that I just texted you, emailed you, whatever, this really doesn't fit. I can't do 5%. And then before you send that email, that text message, and have that phone call, you need to figure out what you can do. So you're not just standing there like a deer in headlights. So let's drop this down to 3%. Now let's drop it down to 2.5%.
Is that average?
No, I'm just cutting it in half. Most of the shit I do is just on feeling. I don't, you know what I mean? I'm just guessing here. Not guessing, but you know what I mean? Educated guessing. So 371. So what if I take this to 371? That's still ugly. That's still real ugly. So now let's go to 2%. 347. Yeah, I don't like it at all. I mean, I really was at the max, but that's okay. 1%, $300. Yeah, you're gonna have to tell. So in this situation, the scenario is I sent them an offer at 200. I wouldn't have given them 235 because that's the max. I would have said 175 to 200. I sent them that for 175 to 200. The real estate agent comes back and they say, hey, we want 5% on the $94,000. I'm like, okay, cool. Let me take a look at it. I run the numbers. I send them the screenshot. What was it, 504? I send them this screenshot. I explain to them my thing, but then I've got this in my back pocket. I know how much I can give them. I can say, look, that 5% that you're asking for, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, I can't do that. As you can see from the screenshot I sent you, that completely kicks it out of the margins. What I can do is squeak it in to my investors' margins. I'm telling you right now, full disclosure, this is not the most attractive deal for them, but I do have some investors that really like this area, so I think that they'll still take it. Your 5% that you're asking me for was yielding about $504 monthly to your seller on that $94,000. I'm at $302. I literally got to shave $202 off. That's the only way I can make it work. Can you sell that to your sellers? That's how you handle that type of situation. You just tell them, hey man, if I could give it to them, I would, because me personally, I would. If I can give a seller 50% down, I would do it. If I can give them, where the monthly is 5% cash on cash return and only $2,000 a year in cash flow and the investor's happy, I would do it. It doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't affect my assignment fee, but I can't. And I don't want to waste your time. This thing has already been on market for over 2 months. So work with me here. They were asking essentially for $500. My investor's not going to do 500, but I think I can get them at 300. Can you sell that to your client? That's how you get real estate agents to be like, oh shit, he is not like the same people that call me every day on this property, sending me lowball cash offers, sending me ridiculous creative offers, because there are creative offers that are ridiculous. This is how you stand out, but you got to know what the fuck you're talking about. This is where you have to be able to teach someone else how to do it. That's when you know that you can do it. And if you can teach someone else how to do it that doesn't know, now they can go teach the client, okay, here's what this buyer's trying to do. They need to be able to cash flow. Now they're selling for you. You don't even have to talk to the client because you were able to educate them.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I felt like that was long-winded as hell.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's really good.
Cool. Does that answer your question?
It does. Thank you so much.
No worries. Emmanuel, are you back yet? No? Checked out? Okay. Does anyone else have any questions or a deal that they would like me to take a look at? Okay, cool. What's up, Jimmy?
What's up? So my question is really towards like the building rapport and also like controlling the call with a realtor and not letting the realtor like take over the call and dictate to you, but like you're staying like in control of it, like dictating terms.
I mean, define taking over the call. Like, what do you mean? Like just talking over you, being a bully, or like what? Or are they being professional, but they're just like an A-type personality and they just talk a lot?
I guess more like taking over, like trying to control the situation basically, and like I guess I mean most realtors are they're pretty nice over the phone,
Yeah,
but
for the most people are.
yeah. The email is a little different, but uh, I guess more building rapport than because just one thing, like for instance, like I want to just say, like with the deal that we're working on, like they
Mhm.
chose the title company, like the realtor they chose the title company. I kind of
Right.
feel like I should have not allowed that to happen, and I feel like I lost control of the situation by letting them get the title control.
You absolutely should have let that happen. 100%. Here's what you should have done that I don't think that you did, and you're new. This is your first deal that you're about to close, right? Congratulations, by the way. What you should have done was check with well, hold on. I'm gonna tell you what you should have done, and I'm gonna tell you what the hell happened because I don't think you're thinking right of what happened. What you should have done was called that title company immediately and seeing if they were okay with assignments. Anytime
Okay.
you're letting someone else pick the title and escrow company, you got to find out if they're okay with wholesale transactions. Believe it or not, there's a small percentage of title and escrow companies that don't do those. And if they don't do those, you can't send it to that company. Not because you're going to get in trouble. You're just wasting time. You're wasting your inspection period, because by the time you upload the deal and the escrow officer and title officer looks at it, to get into the system, they may not even realize it's an assignment deal until it's too late. You're 2 weeks in, your inspection window is closed. Now you owe the EMD, your buyer can't, now you got to move it to another deal, get an extension. It's bullshit. So that's what you should have done. However, what happened, which there was no way that you could have predicted, is that I think her name was Carly, whatever. The title officer doesn't know how to do creative financing deals. They do assignments. They don't have any problem with that. She's never done a seller financing deal before, and she didn't know what paperwork she needed and all that. So that's when everyone, including the title company, said, hey, why don't we just move this to a title company that knows how to do that kind of stuff? And everyone was like, yeah, okay, cool, let's do it. So what happened, you couldn't have foreseen anyway unless you're fucking psychic. And I don't think you are.
Okay. All right. I feel a lot
You know
better.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when it comes to letting somebody, like, should I have let them, that's not you losing control. If the title and escrow company doesn't give a damn about an assignment transaction, then let them have it. Like, what I'm about to say, everyone, is going to sound like I'm being manipulative. It's not. I just don't have any other way to articulate it. It's all about little wins. That's what negotiating is, just little wins. What am I willing to take, and what am I willing to give for it? If I can make a seller or a real estate agent comfortable by saying, yeah, you can use your title company, I don't care. Pick it. I was just going to pick the one that was closest to you guys because my investor's probably going to be having a mobile notary go to them. So yeah, I don't care. Choose it, whichever one you're comfortable with. That's doing two things. It's one, letting them have that victory. They feel good about it. Okay, cool. I can work with this person. He gave me what I wanted. And then two, not only does it bank one for you, like, hey, I did that for you, so now here's what I need, whatever that may be when the situation comes up. But on top of that, it doesn't affect you. It doesn't matter. Give it to them. Let them have it. And you've also shown them, like, hey, I don't have anything to hide. Like, and again, this is the United States. Scammers are 10 phone calls a day on everybody's phone. So if you can give them peace of mind and a win, and it makes you look like further that I don't have anything to hide, this is business as usual for me. Use whatever title company you want. I don't care. That's what your tone needs to be. That's what my tone is. My tone is like that. And I'll tell you guys, like I told somebody earlier today that's new to wholesaling. You want to know why I'm real good at it? Talking to people? Because I don't give a shit. I mean, in the bottom of my heart, from the nicest, purest part of my soul, I don't care if I get that deal. Not that I don't want it. I want to make sure that nobody's like, oh, I got to not want the, no, I want the money. I want the deal. I want the recognition. I want the reputation. I want all that. But you're not going to hold that over my head, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor. I don't give a damn if I get this deal, because if I don't sign this one, I'll sign the next phone call. And if I don't sign that one, I'll sign the one after that. Like, you're not holding this shit over me. So my tone literally sounds like I don't care, which, you know what that doesn't do? It doesn't trigger sales resistance at all. So like I said, it may sound manipulative, but from the bottom of my heart, I don't give a damn if I get this deal or not. I don't care. I'm going to tell you how it is. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'll say it professionally, but I'm going to be truthful. I'm going to be straight up. And it is what it is. And in my tone of voice, that's exactly what you're going to hear, because that's all I've got over the phone, especially me, because I don't let anybody see what I look like. All I've got is my voice. All you guys doing virtual wholesaling, you've got your voice. You don't have your looks. You don't have your outfit. You don't have your perfume, your cologne. You don't have your hand gestures. You don't have your big smile or your awesome eyes. You don't have none of that. You have your voice and the tone of it. What you say and how you say it. And most of the time, it's how you say it. Because if you sound like you have commission breath, you are not going to get that deal. That wall's going up, and they're probably not even going to talk to you. They talk to me because I don't sound like anybody else that they talk to. Because I don't give a damn. You want to be rude? Be rude. That's okay. Because I'm going to take the high ground just for bragging rights, just so I can make you look foolish because I'm that guy. You want to cuss me out and be disrespectful over an offer that I sent you? Hey, you know what? Not a problem. I hope you have a great day. Just so you know, my offer is good for 30 days. If your situation for you and your seller changes, let me know. I'm ready to move forward. Have a great rest of your day. And I mean it. Have a good day, because you're obviously in a bad mood right now if one email sets you off like that. I take the high ground because I don't care. I don't care enough to get angry about what you said. I don't care. I'll get the next one. So if you don't learn anything from me, learn that. Learn not having commission breath and not sounding like that, because then you don't have to worry about if you lost control. You think I've ever gotten on the phone with a seller or real estate agent and felt like I lost control? No. Because I sound like this. And people don't treat me like that. Real estate agents don't ask me for proof of funds. They just don't. 99% of the time, I don't get asked. I haven't gotten asked for a proof of funds in 5 years. Because I don't sound like someone that needs one. They can tell by what I'm saying and how I'm saying it that, oh shit, yeah, okay, well, he knows what he's talking about. Oh, okay, well, he sounds like he can do it. Yeah, all right, what he said, that makes sense. I don't trigger those things. And for the ones that do, you know what I say? I say my POF answer. I love when I get asked for a proof of funds when I used to, because that's the way that I would deliver my POF answer. That's my way of explaining and packaging properly that I'm a wholesaler, without just saying, I'm going to wholesale your property. Or that other stupid shit. Well, me and my partners are looking to buy a couple of... No, you're not. And any real estate agent that you say that to, they can smell that you're not a buyer because you don't sound like a buyer. You don't talk like that. Buyers don't ask questions. They demand answers because they're about to spend their money.
Okay.
So for those of you that say that, stop. Just be honest. Tell them you're a wholesaler, but just package it properly. You know what? Let me tell you what I do. Let's see, where's this? Seattle. I've got like 8, 9 buyers that I've been working with for the last 5 to 6 years, local to Seattle. They literally partner with me to find properties that they can cash flow. If I can get this deal, because they like it, this is one of the ones that they target. We've already closed a few over the last couple of months. If I can get this deal at this terms or close to it, I know for a fact at least 3 or 4 of them will want it. As soon as I've identified which one, I got no problem. 48 hours later, I'll submit EMD and proof of funds, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. Also, on top of that, we're not looking to cut you out of the deal. I know some wholesalers have given us a bad rap. We're not all like that. So what are you charging? Because if I can fit it into the deal, I'll take care of it on our end. We'll just charge the buyer. Me and you against them, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. Of course, then I would use their first name. It's me against you, Jimmy. I'll make sure you get paid. Tell me what are you charging the millers? I'll see if I can get my investor to pay it. If not all of it, at least some of it. What are you charging? It's not like 10%, is it? That's greedy. I say stupid shit like that all the time. When I'm talking to a real estate agent for the first time and I want to know why the property's been on market for so long, you want to hear the stupid joke that I make? And it's stupid. It's funny. Most of the time I'll get a chuckle. I think it's hilarious, but I'm old, so don't judge me. I'll say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, Jimmy, I'm going to use you because I like saying your name. Jimmy, I'm looking at this property and my investors, this is something that they would go for, but it's been on market for like 90 days. And in my experience, I've been doing this for a little bit. In my experience, it's either the price is too high or you guys got like bodies or some shit in the basement. Like, which one is it? And I start laughing because who the hell is going to say they have bodies in the basement? But then you have to be quiet and you have to let them explain. They have to tell you. You know why it's not moving, because it's overpriced, because it needs a lot of work, because whatever. You know why. You need to get them to say it to you. They need to say it out loud so that you can piggyback on it later when it comes time to negotiate. And for anyone that has what the hell is it called? Like phone call anxiety, or like if you're scared to get on the phone because you don't want to burn a lead or you don't want to mess up. If you haven't closed your first deal yet, you should be on the phone 90% of your wholesaling day. You should be on the phone. Even if it's before you send an offer using Deal Sniper, call a real estate agent on a property that's been listed for more than 60 days and do what I just did. Have a conversation. Let them tell you why it's overpriced, why it's not selling, what's actually wrong with it. Then you can ask questions that make you sound more credible. So have you had any walkthroughs? Start using their terminology. Is this your most recent transaction that's been this hard to move? Start laughing. Get them to open up. Get them to talk to you. Get them to like you. And it should, by the way, this shit should be genuine. There are sellers that I still keep in contact with. There are sellers that I keep in contact with, and we didn't even close on their house. If you're going to play the I have empathy, I'm on your side, me and you against the buyer, me and you against the seller, you bet that shit better be real. Because if it's fake, again, walls going up. People can just feel it. I don't know what to tell you. People can feel it. So if you're going to go the same route that I'm going, please understand that while I don't care about if I get the deal, if I'm talking to someone and I like this real estate agent, I vibe with them, they're a hard worker and they need a deal, I'm going to help them. If I say I'm going to help them, I'm going to help them. So you better make sure the shit's sincere. And then you can start leading into something like, sorry, Jimmy, I know I cut you off twice. I was just taking a breath. Then you can get on to saying, once you're talking about the property and all this stuff, look, so I appreciate all the information, Jimmy. I really do. That actually paints a much better picture. Let me tell you what my investors are looking for. They're looking for properties that cash flow. And they're looking for properties just like this. Here's the thing. They're only buying this year and probably next year, they're only buying creative deals. Is your seller open to a creative offer? If so, I can get it over to you in 5 minutes. You can do that before you even send the email out. Just check to see if the numbers work first. Put it through Deal Sniper. Make sure each one LTR, Section 8, above 5% or 5% or higher. And then get on the phone. Because that's the only way you're going to get better. That's the only way you're going to realize, oh shit, he was right. All real estate agents have are about 5 or 6 objections. They all say the same 3 or 4 things. Holy shit, he was right. Oh my God, that thing that he told me to say, it worked. You know how many phone calls and text messages I get? It's like, Sean, I had a guy, Jimmy, I'm gonna get to you in a second, I swear, but I gotta tell you guys about this story. For those of you that don't know what a memorandum is, I'm gonna give you a very, very quick answer. Jimmy, you own a house. I'm the wholesaler. I get you under contract. There's a memorandum in my contract that says, if you sign or do anything to stop me from selling this property once we're under contract, I'm going to file a memorandum on you, which basically means if you try and sell this house outside of this contract, even after the contract expires, you owe me money. One of the first people on my team, Leo, the most timid, well, he was the most timid guy you've ever met in your life. Not anymore. Now he sounds like me. Text me yesterday, Sean, I'm about to close on this property on Friday, and this other random wholesaler sent me a memorandum, and I don't know what to do because he's never been in that situation before. I say, hey, man, just ask the guy what his walking fee is. I said, hold on. I said, you know, you're supposed to close in 2 days, and this isn't actually filed. It's just a notice. I said, why don't you let him know that you'll give him like $1,000, and he's going to not pursue this, or you're just going to close on Friday before he has a chance to file it anyway, and he's not going to get anything. I get a text message today, and I quote, hey, Sean, what's up, bro? Guess what? What's up, bro? Bigger letters. I'm busy. Remember that deal from yesterday? Yeah, what's up, bro? He took the $1,000. No shit. My shit always works sometimes. Just a walking fee. He didn't even file the thing. I said, did you say everything I told you to say? Yep. Good job. He's on his like 27th deal for this year that he's closed. I trained him for like 4 months.
Damn. All right.
All right. So Jimmy, that's all I've got to say about losing control of the conversation. I know that was a rant. Sorry, everybody, but sometimes when we go off, we just go. What were you going to say? Because I cut you off twice, and that was rude as shit, Jimmy.
No, that was fine. I was just gonna say thank you.
No, no problem.
That's it.
Sean, how can I be on your team for you to train me like that?
Aren't you in the
This is-
Discord?
Yes, I am. You're an amazing guy. This is awesome.
Well, I mean, thanks, but that's fine. I'm in the Discord 15 hours a day. Just if you have a question, hit me up. If you need a one-on-one, hit me up. If you guys want some advice, you want to see my words, every single one of my answers that I would say to someone is in the Discord in the cheat sheet channel. You want to start somewhere, memorize that cheat sheet channel. And you're memorizing it in the beginning. The point is for you to understand what I'm saying and why I'm saying it. Because I don't want you guys to sound like me. That's just going to sound like a shitty version of me. You guys need to understand the point and the concept of what I'm trying to get across and then say it like you. That's why I want you guys to learn. When I say memorize the cheat sheet, I want you guys to learn it. Because once you know what it means, you can navigate any conversation with a real estate agent. A reasonable real estate agent. So yeah, just join the trainings. The trainings are every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m. Central. Nobody hopped in yesterday, and I felt like doing it today. That's the only reason why it's today. But normally it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And Kathy, everything that I do, my one-on-ones, these trainings, all the trainings, random videos, they're all on my YouTube channel. And there's no paywall or whatever. They're just there. Watch them. And then schedule a one-on-one with me if you have any questions. I hope all you guys. All right. Emmanuel, you back yet? No? You just joined and walked away? That's all right. I'm long-winded. You probably jumped in and be like, damn, this guy's still talking. Walked away again. He's going to come back and we're going to be all gone. All right. So as I said, this training will be up on YouTube tomorrow at 8 a.m. Central. If you guys don't have any other questions, you guys have a great night. If you need me this evening, I'll be in the Discord for at least another 3 or 4 hours. So just hit me up there. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a great night. See ya.